Very warm welcome to the tradingmentors.com. This is Chris. Hope you're having a good day, better than me. I'm still suffering from the dreaded flu, so this is going to be a quick update on what's going on. I'm going to come back to this just to explain what I set up on my MT4 charts. I've got a 20-day and a 50-day moving average just to confirm that I'm going the right way. We have a double top on silver. We have massive divergence on silver. And so therefore silver is going down to the target, which I will go over in the charts. Also, I'll go over the positions we've got open now live. It's the 22nd of December, just 3:30 in the afternoon here in the UK. And I've got US Swiss as a buy, double bottom on an order block. I have two positions on silver. And the Euro Aussie is a little bit slow, but I need to explain about what's going on. This is going to combine with a training video for people who have the advanced pro charts so that you get a better understanding of swing lows and swing highs and where you can get in, where you can get out, where your stop losses should be and where your take profit should be. So this is oil. West Texas Oil we trade because that's my broker, uses that and the numbers correlate, so that's fantastic. And so this is a swing low on oil, which happened a few days ago, and hopefully you've got this as well. I've closed it now because we've got a sell signal. Expected to go to $81, but doesn't seem to want to do that. And we took a nice profit anyway. But the point of this exercise is to understand the order blocks. First of all, the green zones or buy zones. I expected it maybe to come down a bit deeper. It didn't come down enough to be oversold on the stochastic. This is a 4-hour chart. So once you get that combination of the correction, pullback, retracement, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter what you call it, it's a pullback, it's a swing low. And so therefore, as soon as you see the buy zone, enter a buy zone, either here or here, it doesn't really matter, then you're going to get a rebound. And the other thing is that, as I mentioned yesterday, as it was making the profits yesterday, the stochastic had become overbought. I don't want you to get bogged down with that, because quite often, once the stochastic becomes overbought, it stays there for quite a long time. And it's not a good indication, usually, of an exit. What is a good indication of an exit is the sell signal, and therefore you take your profits. And don't forget, we're coming to the end of the week, volumes are going to be low, Christmas is coming, New Year's is coming, everything's going to die a death anyway. Now in terms of stops for me, the entry point was here, as it bounces off this green zone, the buy zone, the order block, and my stop was way below here, 73.21 in fact. And of course my risk reward has to be at least 2, it's 3.26. I probably ended up with 2 times risk anyway. But aim high. This is what I'm saying, because especially with oil, it does move a lot. If you minimize your profits, then of course you're not going to get a good performance over the long term. You need to make sure that you are making a lot more money when you get those moves and maximize the profits to allow for the losses as they come along, because you do get those. That's perfectly normal. That's what we're in the business of achieving, is making sure that the losses are much smaller than the profits. So my stop was just below here. You can see there's a line there at 73.57. I'll make sure it's below that. So if the price does move down, then of course, you know, you're not going to get stopped out too soon. On to silver. As we can see, we've got a nice double top on an order block. This is highly powerful. Now the trend is up, as you can see. There's a rising wedge going on here, so this price could do what it likes, can't it? But there is divergence as well. But when you trade double tops along with order blocks, these are very powerful and you can make a lot of money. So the target for this is way down here, as you can see. So the target has already been calculated by the software. If you don't have the advanced pro charts, then maybe you should consider getting them, because they work really well. And the target here then is $20.78. Along this journey, there's some barriers, as you can see. There's some stumbling blocks. There's some green zones, which are buy zones, which is perfectly normal. However, a strong downtrend, which is possible here, could just outweigh that. They'll just disappear as the price moves down. But in order to calculate your profits, you could just take your profits here at $22.52, just to be safe, which is the breakdown of the neckline of the double top. So that's a trading opportunity to put your target to there, or the top of this green zone, 22.73, or then put an order to open, a sell limit to actually break down this neckline for $22.50 to head for $20.74. I'm just going to go through the trades that we've got live now, just as an explanation for those people who have got the advanced pro charts, so you can understand exactly what the logic is behind them, why they work so well, and how to use them, and how to use your stops, etc. So in this instance, the US Swiss, we've had this on a radar for a while, and it looks like, and I'll come to the DXY in a minute, it looks like the DXY needs to pull back, and at 4 years, in the last 4 years, every January, the DXY has got stronger. So that may be what we expect to see in January when we come back on the 2nd of January. So current price US Swiss 93.9302. Let's see how we're doing. So as US Swiss, yes, so we're up slightly. Got in at 92.71, 93.01. So that's good. Now I've got two positions on silver, sorry. Lost my track there, so I'm up 35 grand there, so I don't want to expose myself too much, so I'm going to close that down, have a nice profit on that. Back to the US Swiss. So there's two ways to manage this if you wanted to. I've got an alert here at 0.9350, and so what I'm looking for is a break up to the target of 0.9478. That's the target we've gone for. My stop is below the neckline, so we draw a line at the bottom one so we can see that, and so my stop will be, let's just do this, we got in about there, and my stop is below that line. Okay, so I'm risking 75 pips to make so target 94.79, just below the 80. You know my round numbers, 80, 50, 20, 00 are my round numbers, so they are highly accurate. So we're looking at 200 pip profit and a 75 pip risk. So that's a fantastic risk to reward, and that's exactly what you want with your long-term performance. You don't want one-to-one, although you'll get those profits much quicker. You don't want that. You want to, and you could take it up a bit further, couldn't you? Look at the order block here, 75. You'd put it down to 75. I'm happy with that at 75, 79. But we've got a double bottom, which is automatically drawn on your chart with the software. We have the order block, which is automatically drawn on your software, the Advanced Pro charts, and therefore, I mean, I'm aggressive with these things. I will get in as soon as I spot it. I spot it a little bit late, to be fair, but I would prefer to be in at the very bottom, even if the price is going down. But nonetheless, it's still okay. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. And another trade here above 93.50 is an opportunity to get in with a target of 94.79. Again, make sure that if you are going to do that, make sure your risk to reward is 2-to-1. On to Euro Aussie. This is a nice swing low again, and this is really important for you guys who are getting into the Advanced Pro charts. What tends to happen is in the beginning, once you get the Advanced Pro charts, we talk a lot about trends. So we're waiting for the TM to line up with the MACD and all that kind of thing with the moving averages. But the swing lows are slightly different, and you're coming into a different type of trading scenario. And you either love it or you don't. I love the swings and I love the double tops and so on. I love these type of setups because they're fairly clear to see. You can see the 50-day moving average. If you remember, the rules of the swing lows is it has to come down to the 50-day moving average. Here's not good enough, not deep enough, and what tends to happen is the price springs back into the trend. Now these order blocks, because the trend is a strong uptrend, these red zones are irrelevant as far as worrying about whether they're going to make the profit or not. But of course, you have to pay attention to these ones up here. And if we can get 3.53 times risk, so we're going to risk 90 pips, let's say, to make 318, and that's a fantastic risk to reward. Even if it doesn't come in, it's still worth that risk. Notice also the stochastic here in an oversold in an uptrend. Look, the way the moving average is pointing up. Remember the trades before that shot out the blocks. We had 175 pip profit, but it actually went double that. Could have got 200 or 300 pips. But there's a big order block here, guys. So that's a massive resistance there at 161. So that would be our target. So on to the DXY. Let's do a little bit of updates on what's going on. Not a lot is the answer, because obviously volumes are dropping off now. Heading into the Christmas period, you're going to find it difficult to find, especially with the US dollar, any successful trades. Although the US Swiss is making us money, we'll let that one run. And it's up to you whether you want to hold those positions over the Christmas period and New Year period. I probably will. I'm not bothered. They'll either hit their target or they hit their stop. That's just the way it goes. This is the DXY, the US dollar currency, which gives us a head start as to which direction it's likely to go. And we can see that through this channel. We can see this through this ribbon. But the price structure is changing. I don't know if you can see that. Where the price structure is clear to see that it's downward, 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 down. It's sort of run out of steam, isn't it? That's the picture anyway. It still could target 101.50, but I'm really reluctant to see that happen now. I suspect what we're going to do is see this price reverse, and it needs to break this downward trend line. Once it does that, then it's going to open up 106.75, and then beyond that back to potentially 109.53. Now this is going to help us, our US Swiss position, isn't it? And the US Canadian, I want to cover that one as well. It's not kicked in yet, but that looks very interesting. Now this is the US Canadian. Now we can see the price structure as I mentioned in the daily video analysis and the weekly Forex forecast, which I do the weekend. Obviously I'm not doing it this weekend. We're off for a week or so, having our holidays. But nonetheless, this price structure, if it remains intact, look at the direction of this overall trend. This is up. And so therefore, if the US dollar is going to take off, as I suspect it might in the new year, then we're going to have a position above 137.10, which is the previous high. It's going to wipe out these double tops. And as you've probably seen before, when the trend is the strongest, the trend takes over all the double tops and double bottoms. That's just the way it is. So I have an order to buy at 137.20, I think it is. And therefore, I'm going to take it to the previous high of 139.81. So there's going to be potentially a nice profit. It could go beyond that. So I'll be watching this. Well, I won't be watching it. I've got the order to open, that's it, and a target, that's it. So I won't be judging it, but I suspect this could actually move a lot higher. Now, some of you wanted to know more about natural gas. I don't know why. It's not something I've traded before or wanted to, but I'm happy to do the analysis. That's no problem at all. We have a double bottom. It's in a downtrend, price currently 516, and so therefore there's likely to be a rebound, but there's no order blocks here, guys. there's no order blocks at all. There's nothing to support this price, and in fact there's no order blocks at all anywhere, so it's not giving us enough information to trade, and it's not something that I would recommend to run along gold, silver, or oil, in fact. But if you want to give it a go and let me know how you get on, then happy days. But we're making enough money, that's fine. Let's just see how we're doing before I go. Looks like silver's holding on. US Swiss is moving up, making more money, and the Euro Aussie is climbing slowly. So I'm going to play it by ear. I might do another video tomorrow to see how I feel, first of all, and also see what the markets are doing. They're probably going to die a death anyway. But from Chris here at the tradingmentors.com, if you don't have the charts, then let me know. Just send me a message. And if you're not on my membership, TTM membership, for $30 a month to get the daily updates by video, then sign up for that. Happy to help you. Or in the VIP room, if you know, that's $9.99 a month for me to give you updates.